listening to WXSJ 97.3 Sunshine Jam.
Welcome to Backstage Jams on WXSJ 97.3 Miami, Sunshine Jams. I'm AC Blaze, and this is my co-host, Rico Ferreira. We're here with Jay Styeen from, Evo Po Digital, from Evo Po Digital Records, recording artist. How long have you been in the game for?
Going on, I believe, 6 months now.
Yeah? What put you in it? What just made you decide to want to be an artist?
Honestly, I've been a dancer my whole life, so I've always been in tune with music. I've always been in tune with beats, melodies, just the sound of everything, whether it's heartbreaking, or really party kind of music. I've just always been in tune with the sound of it. And one day, one of my friends were just like, hey, man, I heard you freestyling. I've always had a thing for vocals and messing with my tone of voice, different sounds, whether it be a goofy voice or trying to sound country or, just little nicks and that. And one day he was just like, hey, you should start recording. And I started recording, made my first song. Everybody loved it and just went from there.
Nice. Where does the music come from?
The music, it's so... The mother of I have two kids. I have two beautiful boys, and the mother of my kids recently passed away. So it's something that's, been keeping me busy. She passed away last year, July 3rd. We're coming up on a year here very soon. And it's just something that's been keeping me busy. Dancing has kept me busy for so long that when something new like this happens in your life, you have to try to find something new to get out of the comfort zone of, being this person that you were, because now you're going to be a whole different person due to death, due to losing your job. You become a different person. Your train of thought becomes so different that you have to keep it on the right track. So I decided to do music. Music was, I have an album coming out, Lou. Her name was Linda Ani Osceola.
Oh.
So I just named it Lou. Her dad used to call her Lou. He has her name tattooed right on her arm. And I have 3 songs so far. I'm dropping a whole album for that. And that's where it originally just first started. I made my first song was about flexing, because I own a truck. I own quite a few vehicles, good amount of land. And it was just one of those songs. And then I was like, you know what? Let me reach deep down inside. I came to the studio. He was like, yo, just pull it out. Like, pull it out. Let me hear what you really have. Let me hear what you really sound, because I can hear it. And then it just went from there, and I just continued to come in. I'm in the studio 3 times a week, and just pushing. Nice. So that's where it's really coming from.
Yeah, I think that situation is actually with a lot of the newer artists when they have that boom, or we've had some artists that have been around the business for 4 or 5 years and done nothing, and then all of a sudden they have something that's life-changing, or a death in the family, or a child in the family, something life-changing, and what that happens, that gives them that extra push, and then they just bloom, they just blossom really, really rapidly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's happened to a couple of them that we've met in the last 6 months that we've been doing all these interviews, that you see them, or they've been, always great, always been going up, 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 and up. Then you've got those late bloomers that they've been out there, then all of a sudden something happens and it just burst.
Sometimes tragedy causes creativity.
Definitely.
And keep your mind busy.
It goes to say too, because that's how my that's how my modeling career started. Actually, was because I grew up in foster care from the age of 5 to 18. I didn't have a mom. I didn't have a dad. I didn't really grow up and have a family and know the real love of someone actually wanting to be there for you, and that you can actually trust them. And, so my trust is really limited when it comes to people. The loyalty is really limited. I don't really associate myself with a bunch of people. I'm very picky when it comes to that. And that's how my modeling career started. That's how, my mindset was when I aged out of foster care was, all right, they're telling me that I'm going to be dead, homeless, or in prison. So how can I go about it that I prove them wrong? And I started dancing. I started making videos. I started, publishing myself out there. And then that's how my modeling hit. I went to Denver, Colorado to start dancing. This lady saw me walking downtown, said that I had a unique look. And I just went from there, introduced me to Stevie Boy, and Stevie Boy ran with me. And then my baby mom's passed away in the process of this whole modeling gig. And then that's where the music comes from. So it's all up to you. You make your path, your mindset is your path. So I could simply just sit here and, deteriorate myself on the past and excuses and give people reasons as to why I'm doing this and why I'm acting this way. Instead of doing that, I'm, you know, giving them the reason as to ask her, how are you doing this? How are you able to do this? How are you getting by doing this, you know? And my reason is I'm a boss, you know. It's your mind. Your mindset it makes you who you are. So if you truly want to sit there and sit and mope and, you know, tear yourself down and get nowhere, then that's how your life is going to be. You're never going to be able to move. You're just going to get stuck.
Nice.
Simple.
Yeah, it is a factor. It's always mind over matter. I mean, it is what, I mean, what you decide to do is what happens with your life. And, you know, like you said, you can sit there and say, poor me, and try to find people to feel sorry for you. But that energy, instead of putting it that way, what you do is you get that energy and you put it in a positive like you did, and you create your music, you create your song, you create your career. I mean, like I said, when I met you the first time at our open house at the studio, you had a great look. And that's, I think, when you still had not started your music career, you were still in your modeling career. You know, you had that, what we call that wild look. And it's like, you know, really interesting. And then, you know, I've been following you, of course, because I follow everybody that follows us, network. We appreciate that. And so I started looking at you and started seeing that you were starting into the music industry. That's why I you know, spoke with AC, and I said, you know, let's reach out to him. Let's, you know, see what's going on, and let's give him a helping hand, putting him out there, because we're all for the artists. That's what we're pretty much here. We're here mainly for the artists, to help them promote themselves, and hoping, you know, one time they get big, they remember about us little people.
Oh, definitely. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, you scratch my back, I scratch your heart twice as hard. You know, like that's how it's supposed to be. The trust has to be there, the loyalty has to be there. So you can't always expect you know, someone to give you a handout and then not do nothing about it. You know, it's, you know, it's like they say, it's dog eat dog world. You know, it's when you bring the loyalty into your circle, the people that you can trust, then you're no longer a dog, you're a beast. So now it's beast eat dog, you know. So now we're coming for everybody that wants to sit there, manipulate us, lie to our face, because, you know, that's negative energy. They're never going to get anywhere. You know, they're going to continue to stay in that spot. So when they see us climbing and they want to hate on it, they're going to continue to be that person, you know, try to manipulate other people. They're going to stay in that genre, and they're just never going to never succeed.
They never do. They end up never doing it.
I just recorded a song about positivity, you know, trying to, you know, people that want to come into your circle and not really want to be there for you, but be there for the things that you have, you know, or the things that you own, or the things that you're about to have, you know. And I forgot what was the name. Was it, I think it was Don't Be Mad. It was Don't Be Mad. So I have quite a few tracks coming out. I just dropped a song this morning, actually. Just dropped on iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, everything. It's called She Likes Me. Other than that, I have probably well over 100 tracks ready to come. So
make sure we get She Likes Me so we can play it on WXSJ 97.3.
Definitely will.
Definitely. So who are your musical influences?
Like I said, I'm a big dancer. I love dancing. So growing up, Chris Brown was one of my main people. You know, I can't really sing. You throw some auto-tune in my voice, maybe just a little bit, you know, but Chris Brown was always the rhythm, the flow, the sound. It was always a thing for me. So I've always, that was one of my biggest idols, and to this day is still my biggest idol. So he can sit there and rap about money, women, cars, clothes, houses, jewelry, drugs, partying, and sing about it and make it sound good, you know. So that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to talk about my lifestyle, the way I grew up in the streets, in the group homes, and you know, whether it be my love life, or, you know, my hate life, or the people that hate me, or my hurt life. I want to be able to make something and make it sound good. And that's what Chris Brown does. He makes anything and makes it sound good. He does anything, makes it look good, you know, whether it's acting, dancing, clothes, you know, crazy artwork, you know, painting. Like, he makes it look good. And that's just what I want to do. I want to make it look good.
He is so multi-talented. I mean, I was amazed by, and he can play ball. I mean, he's amazing at everything he does.
I can play basketball. I can play football. I run. I exercise. I do a little bit of yoga here and there. I've stopped recently because, you know, my kid's been getting on me, and You know, kids are a lot when you're by yourself, you know, so they're big. They're big hand. I got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, so they're growing
Okay, well,
fast.
you got your hands full.
Definitely, my 5-year-old just graduated yesterday.
Hey,
Nice. Congratulations to your 5-year-old going to 6th grade.
Yes, sir.
So who would you like to do a musical collab with if you could collab with anybody?
That's a good question because that's so tough because there's so many people out right now, and especially that are coming up, that are just like so tremendously like fire that you just want to grab them all and be like, yo, let me work with you, work with you. I'd work with everybody if I could, but if it came down to one person, I think NBA YoungBoy would be
Oh wow!
my
All the
top
big
pick.
world of music, NBA YoungBoy. Okay, that's different. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
well, you know, I think what happens is a lot of times we expect people to use these big names. I want to be with this one, with that one, but I also think it's a personal thing, like yourself, the type of artist that you are and that you're going to become. You're focusing on certain people that you can feed off of. So apparently, you find something in NBA YoungBoy that gets your attention, even though there's a lot of other artists out there that are bigger names, etc. But sometimes it's not the biggest name. It's trying to find the feeling or the connection with that person.
Definitely. And that's where the energy and positivity comes from, you know, like you can't just sit there and like, for example, if I were just given a handful of people that I had to work with, I can't sit there and mope and be like, I don't want to work with none of these people, you know, because then you're not going to get nothing done. If you really want to work with NBA YoungBoy, find a sound in these people that I'm giving you and find the tune that you're feeling with this guy and find something better that you could maneuver around it. Try not to stick on that same subject that you're trying to work with NBA YoungBoy. Try to find a different subject with these people. Try to find a different sound. Try to find a different flow. And that's all I'm about. I'm all about like different quantities, you know, like if there's never an obstacle in my way. I always, if that obstacle slaps down on me right now, it's going right back up. Like there's no way I'm going to let that stop me. So if I can't work with this person, believe I'm going to have other people in mind. Definitely.
Nice. Wow. You have a good game plan over there. I tell you, bro. You definitely got a good game plan. Definitely. So what do you think what do you see the state of this industry going right now with all the restrictions?
I don't really know about the restrictions that are going on right now. But the state of the industry, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, there's not really a lot of people that are truly out there for everybody else. Like what I've noticed is when you make music, it's for yourself. Yeah. You could talk whatever your life, whatever's in your life, whatever's happening, whatever you want to talk about, it's for you. Yeah. But you got to understand, you're trying to distribute this music. So it has to be for everybody. You have to be for everybody. So when it comes down to it, you can't be, oh, I'm Mr. Big Shot. Like, you know, who cares what you think, or who cares what you think? And then behind closed doors, someone heard you talking about this. So now you're like, oh, no, I'm sorry. You know, that's not what I meant. I truly am there for the people. You know, I don't approve of that at all. You know, I've noticed a lot of artists are not truly there for the people who they say they are for, and they're not truly there for themselves. They're so stuck in this factor that, all right, I've made this amount of money. Now I'm able to say and do whatever I can or say so. You know, that's not, you're just as human as everybody else. We bleed the same way, you know? So I want to be able to come up and be that different artist that actually, you know, people are on social media. Yeah, let me go ahead and spend a couple $1,000s on some burgers or food and go ahead and hand it out and show that I'm doing this. But why aren't you doing it every day? Why aren't you doing it every other week? You know, you're making X amount of money on this album every day. Why aren't you doing that every week? Or, you know, why aren't you helping out? You're sitting there blowing $200,000, $300,000 on jewelry when you could have just did that, and you got $200,000, $3,000 coming back in the following week. You know, it just doesn't make sense. So I've noticed that error in the music industry, and I want to be able to come in differently. I want to be able to actually, like, I model, I dance, I play sports. I have this business beyond modeling techniques that I plan on opening, that where you do improv, stand-up comedy, acting classes, dancing lessons, music industry, recording, you know, instead of sitting there on the internet trying to find one thing at a time, whether, you know, if you love doing everything, there's a building that has it all. So we'll work with you at a different expense on the contracts or whatever. What, you know, when you go to an MMA class, they're like, oh yeah, sign up for 3 months, you pay this X amount. That's what I want to be able to do, and help people not be able to pay $50 a month here at, you know, Dance Academy, and then go ahead and go down the street to Acting Academy or whatever class, and then pay another, you know, when it's all there in one book.
Nice.
So I just want to be able to help people. I want to be able to help other people succeed. Like, I have other artists right now that I know that I'm like, hey, I know these people, like, go ahead and work with me, you know, continue, show me that you really want this, and I'll bring you along with me, you know, like I'll help you help me, you know, show me that you want this just as bad as I want to see you want it, and then we'll go from there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's never about me, ever.
Well, that's a little bit, let's say, this a little bit like, you know, WXSJ 97.3 is doing with a lot of new artists, a lot of artists. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have the quality, have the gift, but at the end, they don't have the possibilities. You know, because we know out there the industry is very expensive. It can be very expensive. And so what we're doing logically with these people, we're helping them out. We're, you know, bringing them in. We're helping them out with their tracks. We're helping them in the recording studio. We're helping them out with their photo shoots, with their Instagram. So we're giving these people a chance because we believe, I think everybody has been always given a chance, and it feels really good.
We all used to be
us
artists.
giving a chance to these artists, you know, you're giving your first chance, and then you see if they logically respect the chance that you gave them, and they come back and you see that they're, you know, continuing, then you're fine. Then you feel happy about, you know, giving. It's not always about, you know, you don't give to get back. You give because it feels good to give.
No.
Then logically,
Definitely.
if on the meantime you get back something, I don't care if it's a shout out, I don't care if it's a, hey, how are you? That's fine. That's good. But like you said before, you're making all this money, but you're only doing it when the guy's videotaping you, giving out, you know, homeless people their foods or whatever, or doing this charity only when you're being videotaped. No, you have to do it all the time. Now, logically, we run a business. The radio station, we run a business, and there are many of our artists that come in and say, hey, we need this package. We want to promote. You know, we opened up a WXSJ in Brazil, and we're opening up in Italy, and we're opening up in London very soon, and we're opening up in Asia. So logically, we have a business, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop and not help out the artists that are up and coming. Because the most important thing is when we initiated this radio station and this network, it was not because we wanted the advertisement. No, we don't want. We have advertisers, we have sponsors. Yeah, they come in and out. But for us, it was a platform for the artists, the new up and coming artists, or even the artists that, I don't want to say they're old, but they're not being played anymore and they need to be played. We're there for them. So we're more of a platform for the artists to promote their products. And you know, and it's just like the same thing you said. And you know, we don't do it only because of the money. Because if you do it only because of the money, then it's a different thing. We do it because we like it. We've always been in the same place.
Yep, and you lose yourself.
Oh, you lose yourself more than you know.
Trust me, I've seen it.
So where can you find?
I have a question for him. Where do you see yourself in 1 year?
Everywhere.
Be a little bit more specific, sir.
I see myself. So right now I'm in 2 magazines. I see myself in 50 magazines. You know, right now I have 8 songs out. I see myself having 50 songs out, 3 albums. You know, that's where I see myself. So I plan on putting in the tremendous work, especially if I have the loyalty behind my back. You know, my team. You know, because you can only do so much by yourself. You know, I can only send out so many emails. I can only receive so many things and answer so many things and type up so many things before my fingers start going numb, you know? So as long as the loyalty is there and the trust is there, and I'm bound to work, I'm bound to dig my feet until they bleed, you know? So I'm not stopping for nobody, and I hope no one stops for me, because, you know, I'm not a roadblock for nobody, and I don't want nobody to be a roadblock for me. You know, I want everybody to keep going.
Beautiful. So where can your fans find your music?
You can find my music on iTunes, Spotify. There's this app even called Music. It's not music. It's like music. It's got like a Q in it. But you can find me on there, Amazon, Google Play, believe it or not, PlayStation. You find me everywhere. Type in Jaimec, Jaimec, and all my songs will come up. You can find me on Instagram, courageous_outlaw. That is my main Instagram, and my music page is J_Styeen. Same thing with YouTube and HGITV, I believe it is.
Okay.
So,
well, what we'll do is we'll probably have you send us that information. So we'll just when we post it, we'll just write it all out there so everybody can read it out there. But yeah, I mean the platforms that you're on are great, up and coming, and like you said, the good thing is having a team behind you, because you have to dedicate yourself to your growth in your music. And I know that a lot of people say, yeah, but the artist should engage. Yeah, you have time to engage on your Instagram, engage on your social media. That's fine. But like you said, if you get up in the morning and you have to think about everything, your boys, of course, first, family, then you got to think about your career, modeling, photos, videos, multitasking, etc. And it becomes extremely stressful. I mean, we understand that, because even in our studio, we try to do everything by ourselves, but you can only do so much. So now, we've acquired different hosts, people that are, coming in to the radio station and helping us out there. We've got logically a team for our social media, but you're running the same path that everybody should run and does run. Some people have it a little bit easier. Some people have to sweat it out a little bit more like us. But I think, AC, what do you think? When you sweat it out, you actually enjoy it more, because it's like,
because you work hard for it.
You worked hard for it. It's like they always say, easy come, easy go. You find $100 on the floor, 15 minutes after you blew it, it's like, it wasn't mine anyhow. But if you get up in the morning at 4 o'clock and you go to work and you make $100, before you spend that $100, you look at it 3 times or 4 times before you spend all that money. But that's the most important thing.
Definitely. I've been there both times on both of those occasions, so I definitely know exactly what you're talking about. So
nice. Well, thank you guys. Jaimec, thanks for coming out. So appreciate it. It's been a great interview. You've given so much gold, and I can't wait to see your career. And your singles been playing on WXSJ 97.3. So we're going to have you listen to music on New Music Mondays, and you'll also be on Keep It or Leave It Fridays on WXSJ 97.3.
And a good thing happened. We didn't have any bloopers. The last interview we had 45 minutes of bloopers, and we loved it, though, because everybody kept on coming in and out. The phones kept on going down, but it was really fun, the bloopers. So I told AC, I said, hey, I hope we get some good bloopers today. But hey, it wasn't just a standard interview. Great interview. Great interview. But is there anybody else you want to plug? Anything else? Your production company, people you work with, anybody you want to plug?
No, just shout out to my manager, Cassandra. She's been doing it all. She's been helping me a lot. Shout out to the producer. They're both here, Evo, helping me out and giving me the positive energy that I need. And
we thank them also.
And the help. So that's pretty much it. My boys, of course. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it so much. Definitely look forward to hearing me on your station. Definitely look forward to working with you guys more and heading out to Orlando to come to the station and
definitely and on your next when you're heading up this way, just give us a heads up. We'll definitely organize something to come to the studio. We can do a live there and too. But yeah, definitely anytime you got a new drop coming in or anything like that.
I'll be there tomorrow, so
well, tomorrow I don't know. Tomorrow it's Sunday, but we usually try to take our family time. Then Monday is a nice holiday, so everybody's not doing much. So I think it's barbecue time Monday.
But yeah, no, definitely we'll keep in touch and we'll go from there. I look forward to it.
And then, like I said, we'll set up, we come to Miami, we're in here in Miami, so we'll set up our time from between Orlando and Miami, wherever we are. We'll visit with you and we'll just take it from there.
Sounds good.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys for watching Backstage Jams on WXSJ 97.3 Miami, Sunshine Jams. I'm AC Blaze. There's
Rico Ferreira.
And I'm Jay Styeen. Thank you.
And we're out of here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.